The name Fuyatenya, read in Japanese as Fujino Chiya, is a Japanese personal name. Let's break down its meaning. Fuji, wisteria, a type of flowering vine with purple blossoms. It's a common element in Japanese surnames, e.g. Fujimoto, Fujisawa. No. Field or plain. Together, Fujino means wisteria field. Chi, thousand. Chiya literally means 1,000 nights. So, Turiya Chiya can be translated poetically as Chiya Fujino, meaning 1,000 nights in the wisteria field. In real life, Tunyojino Chiya is also the name of a Japanese novelist born in 1962 who won the Naoki Prize in 2000 for her work Nagai Owakari. The Japanese phrase bejitaburu haitsumori can be broken down as follows. 1. Bejitaburu, vegetable, written in katakana, the script used for foreign words. 2. Haitsu, heights, also in katakana, often used in Japanese apartment or housing names. 3. Monui, monogatari, story or tale. So bejitaburu haitsumori literally translates to the story of vegetable heights or vegetable heights tale. The Japanese term mokuji means table of contents in English. Me literally means I or item, and tsi means next or order. The phrase abokanonmum is Japanese and breaks down as follows. Avocado. No, possessive particle, often translated as of or s. Daughter, girl. So literally it means daughter of the avocado or avocado's daughter. Depending on context, it could be. The phrase broccoli no rishi is Japanese. Let's break it down. Broccoli. No, a possessive particle, similar to s or of in English. Everyday life or daily life. So broccoli no richan literally translates to the daily life of broccoli or broccoli's everyday life. The phrase carotto no herden is Japanese and can be broken down as follows. Carotto equals carrot, usually written in katakana for foreign or loan words. No, a possessive particle, roughly meaning of or s. Futari equals two people or a pair. So literally, carotto no herden means the two people of carrot or the two from carrot. The phrase daikon no mon is Japanese and literally translates to the dream of a daikon. Breaking it down. Daikon gon equals a large, white Japanese radish. No equals possessive particle, like of. Mon equals dream. So it could be interpreted as a daikon's dream or the dream of a radish. The Japanese phrase abokado futatabi breaks down as follows. Avocado. Futabi, again, or once more. So, avocado futabi literally means avocado again, or avocado once more. The phrase sayonara vegetable is Japanese and translates literally to goodbye vegetable in English. Sayonara, goodbye. Vegetable, vegetable, written in katakana, which is used for loanwords from The phrase "Vegetabu haitsumori" is Japanese and can be broken down as follows. 1. Vegetabu, vegetable, borrowed from English. 2. Heights, commonly used in Japan as part of apartment or building names, from English. 3. Monuri, story or tale. So Vegetabu haitsumori literally translates to the story of Vegetable Heights or Vegetable Heights story. It sounds like the title of a book. The Japanese phrase avocado no men literally translates to daughter of the avocado or avocado's daughter. Avocado, possessive particle like of or s. Nen equals daughter or girl. Context matters a lot in Japanese. Depending on usage, it could be literally talking about an avocado. The phrase sono nikaitate apato dewa breaks down as follows. 1. Sono, that, referring to something previously mentioned or known to both speaker and listener. 2. Nikaitate, two-story or two-floor. 3. Apato, apartment. 4. Dewa, in, at that, or as for that, often used to set the context or topic for what follows. So literally, in at that two-story apartment, or as for that two-story. The Japanese phrase "kakupoya ni yasai no namae no aisho ga tsukerarete ite" can be broken down as follows. Kakupoya ni, to each room. Yasai no namae no, vegetable names. Aisho ga tsukerarete ite are given nicknames or have been nicknamed. Continuing form implying and so. So a natural English translation would be each room is given a nickname based on a vegetable. The phrase eihoshu avocado is Japanese and literally translates to eihoshu, room A, or apartment A. The ga, subject marker, avocado, avocado. So literally, room A is an avocado. The phrase bisuga broccoli is Japanese and literally translates to bihos, room B, or unit B. Ga, subject marker, meaning is or subject. Broccoli, so literally it reads as room B is broccoli. However, the phrase "siyasuga keroto" is in Japanese. Let's break it down carefully. 1. Si goshitsu. Hiu means room number in an apartment, hotel, or building. Sihosu literally means room C. 2. Ga. This is the subject particle, marking CC as the subject of the sentence. 3. Keroto. This is carrot written in katakana. The phrase "dihorsuga daikon" is a playful or pun-like Japanese expression. Let's break it down carefully. 1. Dihose, literally room D. Hulsi, room number, like an apartment or office. 2. Daikon, literally radish. But in Japanese wordplay, daikon can also be forced into sounding like something else. 3. Literally, forcibly, or by force. In this context, it usually signals, this is a forced weak pun joke. So the sentence as a whole, room D equals. The Japanese expression toit itaguai is often used to describe how something is done, the state of something, or the manner in which something occurs. A natural English equivalent would be in such a way, like this, that, in that manner, or something along those lines. Let's break it down. Jua goi, condition, state, manner, way. Toita, like, such as, or of the kind mentioned. So together, toitagua literally means, open quote, in the manner like that, or more naturally, something like that, in that way, in such a manner. Close quote. Examples. 1. 彼は何でもゆっくりと考えるといった具合だ. He is the type who thinks everything over slowly in that manner. 2. 準備は順調に進んでいるといった具合です. Preparations are going smoothly, something like that. 会議ではまず問題点を洗い出すといった具合で進めた. In the meeting, we proceeded in a manner where we first identified the issues. Tip. It often appears at the end of a sentence to summarize the way something is happening or the impression of a situation. If you want, I can also explain the subtle difference between toitagua and similar expressions like toyu kanji and toita hyosu, which often confuse learners. Do you want me to do that? Great. Let's carefully compare toitagua, toyu kanji, and toita yozu. They're similar but have subtle differences in nuance and usage. 1. Toitaguai, nuance, focuses on the manner, way, or state of something happening. Tone, slightly formal or neutral, often used in writing or structured speech. Usage describes how something occurs or is done, often at the end of a sentence. Example, 準備は順調に進んでいるといった具合です. Preparations are going smoothly, something like that. 会議ではまず問題点を洗い出すといった具合で進めた. We proceeded in a manner where we first identified the issues. Nuance emphasizes the impression, feeling, or overall sense. Tone, casual to neutral, very common in spoken Japanese. Usage, often used when describing. The Japanese phrase 例えば愛媛から上京して年目の大学生 can be broken down as follows. 1. 例えば, for example. 2. 愛媛から, Ehime is a prefecture in Japan. 上京して, having come to Tokyo or moving to Tokyo. 上 literally means going to the capital. For menno, in their second year. 5. 大学生, university student or college student. The phrase 重点和美が借りているAホストは can be broken down as follows. 1. 重点和美, a person's name. 2 ga, subject marker, indicating that Sumida Kazumi is the one doing the action. Keriteiru is renting or is borrowing. 4. Nikai no, on the second floor. A-host, room A or apartment A. 6. Wa topic marker, highlighting what comes next is about this room. Putting The phrase two no avocado literally translates from Japanese as avocado of two, or number two avocado, but Japanese phrases often carry nuance or context beyond literal translation. Let's break it down. Two, two, the number two. No, no, a possessive particle similar to of or s in English. Avocado, avocado, avocado. So literally, avocado. The Japanese phrase toyobarete no datta can be broken down step by step. One, to, quotation particle, often like saying as or called. Two, yubareteru, passive progressive form of hyubu, to call, meaning is being called or is known as. No datta, past explanatory confirmatory tone, roughly like it was that or it turned out that. So the full phrase toyobareteru datta translates roughly to it was called. It turned out that it was called, it is or was known as. The nuance of no datta gives it a reflective or explanatory feeling, like the speaker just realized or is explaining something. For example, その山は戦争な山と呼ばれているだった. It was called a sacred mountain. That mountain was known as a sacred mountain. If you want, the phrase yube mo datte comes from Japanese. Let's break it down carefully. 1. Yubinbutsu means mail or postal items, like letters or packages. 2. Datte. This is a particle with several possible meanings depending on context. Can mean even or also, implying that the thing mentioned is included in what's being discussed. Can also mean they say or introduce a topic someone mentioned, but in casual conversation, it's often even. So yobemu datte usually translates roughly as even mail, even postal items. It's often used at the start of a sentence. For example, yuben datte torokanai koto ga aru. Even mail sometimes doesn't get delivered. The Japanese phrase sono fyochi de chanto todoku can be broken down like this. Sono fyochi de, with that notation way of writing, or written like that. Chanto, properly, correctly, reliably. Todok, to reach, or to be delivered. So the Japanese phrase Yikuchi no aoi tetsei achugu no tokoro ni aru giniro no yuben uke ni wa can be broken down as follows. Yuguchi no, at the entrance, of the entrance. Aoi tetsei achi, blue iron metal arch. Onukere, passing through, going through. Sugu no tokoro ni aru, located immediately, right after. Ginyoko no yubenuke, silver mailbox, niwa, in, at. Topic target marker. Implies something about this location is going to be described. The Japanese phrase cook's tomo can be broken down like this. Cook's kakuchi room, or every room. Tomo, both all, each. Depending on context, but here it emphasizes that the statement applies to all the rooms mentioned. So, cook's tomo essentially means in all rooms, each room, with the nuance that the statement applies to every room. Example usage. Cook's tomo eakon wanbei desu. All rooms are equipped with air conditioning. The tomo adds a nuance of without exception. Not the Japanese sentence. アルファベットと一緒に野菜の名前が白いプレートに小さく刻まれているからだ can be broken down as follows. アルファベットと一緒に野菜の名前が the names of vegetables. 白いプレートに on a white plate. 小さく刻まれている are engraved, smallly inscribed. からだ because of that. So a natural English translation would be the word avocado, pronounced avocado, is the Japanese katakana The Japanese word tada can have a few different meanings depending on context. Here's a clear breakdown. 1. Only, just, merely. Used to emphasize that something is simple or limited in scope. Example, tada no guakusei desu. I'm just a student. Kore wa tada no chabi desu. This is only a piece of paper. 2. Free of charge, without cost. When talking about money or payment. Example, kono chiketto wa tada desu. This ticket is free. 3. However, but, more literary or conversational, less common. Often used to contrast a statement. Example, tada tui ga piyao desu. However, caution is necessary. Tip, the context usually. The Japanese phrase daka is used to indicate just because, doesn't mean, or even so, and it often introduces a statement that contrasts with or limits the previous one. It's a way of saying that one thing doesn't automatically lead to another. Breakdown. Dakara, therefore so, because of that. Toyette, saying, just because we say. Together. Just because that is the case doesn't mean. Example sentences. 1. 忙しいからといって仕事を手抜きしていいわけではない。Just because you're busy doesn't mean it's okay to slack off at work. 2. 安いからといってこの商品がいいとは限らない。Just because it's cheap doesn't mean this product is good. 3. 親だからといって何でも許されるわけではない。Just because someone is a parent doesn't mean everything they do is allowed. Tip. The phrase, ジュレカズミが誰かに自分の住所を伝えるときに can be broken down as follows. ジュレカズミ, a person's name. が, subject marker. 誰かに, to someone or to somebody. 自分の住所, one's own address. を to convey or to tell. 時に, when or at the time of. The sentence you provided is in Japanese. 2a. ではなくて、2のアボカドをわざわざ口にしたりチリしたりすることがあるのかといえば、breaking it down. 2a ではなくて、saying 2a. 2 no avocado, literally 2's avocado, probably a playful or metaphorical way of saying 2a, maybe a nickname or code. さ、わざわざ口にしたりする. Go out of one's way to say it or write it down. 4. ことがあるのかといえば, if you ask whether there are times when someone does this. Putting it together. The Japanese phrase, とりあえずそんなことはなかった, can be broken down as follows. とりあえず, for now, anyway, in any case, or first of all. It often implies doing or saying something as a temporary measure or focusing on the immediate point. そんなこと, such a thing, that kind of thing, or something like that. はなかった, negative past form of aru, meaning there was not or did not happen. So, literally, it's something like, open quote, anyway. The Japanese phrase toyuka is a versatile expression that can be tricky to translate directly into English because its meaning depends on context. Generally, it's used to correct, clarify, or modify what you just said, often meaning something like, or rather, I mean, more accurately, or should I say. It's often used in casual speech to soften a statement or refine it, sometimes giving a nuance of self-correction. Examples. 1. 普通の人というか、かなり変わってる人です. A normal person, or a pretty unusual person. 疲れたというか眠いです. I'm tired, or rather, sleepy. 3. 好きというか、尊敬しています. I like him, or rather, I respect him. Note, というか is usually The phrase できればあまり人には教えたくない can be broken down like this. できれば, if possible, preferably. あまり, not very much, not really, with a negative nuance. 人には, to people, to others. 教えたくない, don't want to teach, tell. So the full phrase roughly means, open quote, if possible, I don't really want to tell others, or I'd rather not tell other people. The phrase nanishiro avocado dashi is a casual conversational Japanese expression. Let's break it down carefully. 1. Nanishiro. This means anyway, after all, in any case, or the thing is. It's used to emphasize a reason or justification. Abodo. This is simply avocado. 3. Dashi. In this context, dashi is a casual form of because it's, from dashi, where she implies a reason among others. It's like saying and besides, or after all, it's. So the full phrase nanishoboku dashi literally translates to, open quote, anyway, it's an avocado after all. Well, it's an avocado, so you know. After all, it's avocado, so that explains it. Close quote. The Japanese phrase nandaka is a very common expression and is a bit nuanced. It roughly means somehow, for some reason, kind of, a little, informal, depending on context. It's often used to describe a vague feeling, impression, or situation that the speaker can't explain clearly. Examples. 1. Nandaka kusareta. I'm somehow tired. I feel kind of tired. 2. Nanda irishi kibun da. I feel somehow happy. I'm kind of happy. 3. Nandaka henna kanji. It feels somehow weird. Key points usually expresses vague feelings or impressions. The phrase 全体的にどこかの暗編書みたいだし can be broken down as follows. 全体的に overall or on the whole. どこかの some or somewheres. As pension cheap pension inn. Pension refers to a small hotel or guest house, often in a resort area. Mitai dashi seems like or looks like, and the shi gives a nuance of giving a reason or adding emphasis, often implying there are other points too. So the whole phrase roughly translates to, open quote, overall, it kind of feels like some cheap inn, or on the whole, it seems like a cheap guest house somewhere. Close quote. The nuance is somewhat casual and slightly dismissive, like the speaker is. The Japanese phrase kore wa tanobu wa translates literally to this is another room, or this is a different room. Kore this. Other, different. Heya, room. So it's something you might say when pointing out that a particular room is not. The phrase toriwake dihose can be broken down like this. 1. Toriwake. This means especially, particularly, or above all. It's used to single something out from a group. 2. Dihose. This literally means room D. Hosts it room number, unit number, or suite number in a building. So toriwake dihose translates to something like especially room D, particularly room D. The phrase okarite iru hito tachi mo is Japanese. Let's break it down carefully. 1. O, particle marking the direct object of the verb. 2. Kariteiru. The verb kariru means to borrow, and chariteiru is the teiru form, meaning is borrowing or has borrowed, ongoing or current state. 3. Yuntachi tachi, people form, literally people. 4. Mo, particle meaning also or to. Putting it together, o kariteiru hito tachi mo, the people who are borrowing something also. Or even the people who have borrowed something. The exact nuance depends on context. For example, bon o kariteiru jin toshokan ni ikimasu. The people who are borrowing books also go to the library. If you want, I can explain why o appears here. The Japanese phrase kitto honaji yo namo daro can be broken down as follows. 1. Kitto, surely, certainly, most likely. 2. Honaji yona, similar to, like, the same kind of. 3. Mono, or stuff, can refer to an object, situation, or concept depending on context. For daro expresses conjecture or probability, like probably, I guess, or I suppose. The phrase you wrote is in Japanese. つまり普段から野菜の前なんかで読んでいるのは breaking it down. つまり in short, that is to say, 普段から normally, usually, habitually. ぷやを名前なんかで with vegetable names and such, using names like vegetables. 読んでいるのは the act of calling, the reason someone calls it. The Japanese sentence おそらくダキャさんの言っちゃくらいのだ can be broken down and interpreted as follows. 1. おそらく probably or most likely. 2. ダキャさん landlord or landlady. No possessive particle, s. 4. いちゃ family or household. くらい about, aroundly, depending on context. 6. なのだ explanatory tone, roughly it is that. Or you see, putting it together, it's probably just the landlord's family. Or